In just a few hours, the Low Country will be getting ready for a weekend full of Halloween parties and festivities. Well, here to show off her latest creations and to spend some advice on turning that everyday costume into a showstopper is our favorite makeup artist, Miss Zoë Hyman.
Hi.
Great to see you
Nice
again.
to see you again too.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, it's my favorite time.
And you look fabulous as always.
Thank you. I'm taking inspiration from Eduardo.
Yes, I know. Well, we'll get to Eduardo in a second, but the makeup that you've done today is a little bit different from the ones that you've shown us in the past.
Yeah, this is
What
just
technique did you
using
use?
all eyeshadow and just feeling my own face to see where my bones and structures already inset. So I just took some pretty purples and I decided to go with that instead of some browns and just felt around and tried to see where it would be a little indented than it wouldn't.
It's amazing what you can do with shadows and what you can do with gradient colors, because that can create a three-dimensional look.
I only used 2 colors out of the whole thing, a darker purple to do the darkest and a lighter pink purple to be any other shading.
So simple. Anybody can do that, but with the right technique, of course. And I love the eyes.
Thank you.
That's really neat.
I didn't make those.
So you did not make those, but they look beautiful on you. Okay, so you've brought a table full here of your creations. And this is what you're known for. You work a lot with latex and you create masks and helmets and just complete characters of people using your own imagination and some handy dandy products.
Yeah.
So what is this right here?
This is a cowl I made. It was just out of my own inspiration. There's just a bunch of aliens that I took inspo from. But this is all using latex and also using toilet paper, so as well as oil-based clay. So first I take an oil-based clay and I morph with my hands whatever object or shape I ever want, whether it be a horn or whether it is a face. And then I cover it with almost 100 layers of latex,
Wow,
at least until
really?
it's thick enough to be pulled back off, powdered with baby powder, and just put on my face.
How long does that take you?
It depends on how big. I want to say this one took me about a few days. I can't say too much because the drying process is actually pretty fast.
Oh, it
so
is.
in between those layers and layers and layers, it's drying already.
But look at these horns. That's incredible. So you create the clay, and then what do you put the latex on the inside?
On the outside.
On the outside.
So these are made on plates. So I teach a bunch of kids, and they were able to make them on just normal little plastic plates with clay, and then we covered them so many times with latex, it just got too thick, and then we were able to pull it back off, invert it.
Oh, I see.
And then put baby powder all in there so it doesn't stick to itself.
Oh, fascinating. How do you create something like this with so much detail in it?
So this one's actually a lot harder. It is using casting. So once you've made that oil-based clay into the face, you then make a negative of it using silicone, and in that silicone you then pour whatever form you're going to be using. So this is made with foam latex instead of normal latex.
I was going to say the texture looks very different.
It's a lot lighter as well. It'll expand into all those little crevices and get all the detail in there.
And it moves with your face, and it just looks like it's
a
your
lot
face.
nicer, yeah.
And you can apply makeup to that as well?
It uses, just like you would your foundation, it absorbs very well.
Okay, well, before we got started, Zoë, well, she hurt me. She injured me. She injured my hand. So if you can see this, no, I'm just kidding. This is actually latex and toilet paper, and you're going to make a gash.
Yeah, so I've applied a layer of latex and then a little bit of toilet paper as well as another layer of latex after this, and I'm now going to rip it so it opens it up and makes a big wound. So this is going to feel like you're kind of taking off a really bad face mask. It's going to peel at your little hairs. So I'd advise not to do this on your head anywhere.
I don't have too many hairs on my hands.
So I have taught a bunch of kids how to do this as well. And the first thing they said was that it pulled on every little hair they had on their hand.
I waxed first. Okay. How do you make the blood?
So next I'm going to make the blood with just at-home kitchen stuff. So we're going to take chocolate syrup, food coloring, and corn syrup, and just mix those all together. The corn syrup is for the viscosity, to make it all thick, and the chocolate syrup is to make it all dark. This is also edible. So if you have a kid kid that wants to be a little vampire or something, you can give him this and he will love it.
Well, that's a great idea. So how, equal parts of everything? Or?
You can decide. If you want it to be darker, you could put more chocolate syrup. If you want it to be lighter, you could put a little bit more of the corn syrup.
Okay.
Once you get this nice caramel color.
I see. So it still looks a little brown.
Yeah.
But this is where it now starts to look like blood, is by adding red food coloring?
Yeah, once you get the red food coloring in there, it'll look a lot more like blood. Of course, the red food coloring already looks like blood, but it's just too thin. We need it to be that nice thick. I do about 3 drops.
Okay. And you teach a lot of kids how to do this type of makeup.
Yeah.
And to see their creations, they've become masters at it as well.
They
You're
have.
an excellent teacher.
Thank you. Well, I only teach every Monday, and I teach homeschool kids, almost about 15 of them. And each of them every time has more and more excitement.
I'm sure.
And they get to make a mess and it look good.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
So we're gonna drip that in there.
Yeah, let me make sure I get into the shot here. Oh my gosh, that really does. And the thickness of it, it looks like blood.
Yeah.
Next time we won't get into a fisticuffs before we go on camera here. I just absolutely love this, and this is a great palette too that you work with to make the skin around it look naturally bruised and irritated. Also, you brought Eduardo with you. I wanted to ask Eduardo a quick question. So, Eduardo, do you have any bone-chilling tricks up your sleeve to scare the kids this year? Yeah, he's a man of few words, everyone. Zoë Hyman, she is the absolute best. Where can people find you?
Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is zoe.hyman, and Facebook's just Zoë Hyman.
Fantastic. So great to have you back
Nice
with
having
us.
you.
We're
Thank
back
you.
after this. Happy Halloween, everyone.